Okay, so for today, we are going to go through Weekend Homework 1, Question 1. First, the question asks us to do our rent income account. So we're going to see what is the balance on the first day of the financial year. The question actually told us that on the first day of the financial year, the question, we have a rent income received in advance. So when we already have an income received in advance on the first day, it means that in the previous year, okay, business received $1,500. This amount was received in the previous year, but because it's a receipt in advance, it actually meant that this is supposed to be earned in the current year. Okay, and because it is supposed to be earned in the current year, we have to add, okay, to our income this year. It's earned in the current year. Remember that when we are doing prepayment accruals, okay, our accrual concept states that income is recorded when it is earned. We don't care when it was received. This amount was received last year, okay, but it is only earned in the current year. Okay, then subsequently, when I receive rental income by check, I add to my income. Okay, same thing goes for May 1st, 2018. On the last day of the year, 31st July 2018, okay, this is the last day of my financial year. Here I have a rent income received in advance. Okay, this means that okay, I have an amount that is received this year. Okay, so let's write down first. Okay, I received $1,000 this year. Okay, but this is actually earned for next year. Okay, this amount is actually earned for the next financial year. Okay, hence we actually have to subtract $1,000. Okay, take note that there's actually a difference between the rent income received in advance at the start of the year, okay, compared to the amount at the end of the financial year. They actually have different meaning. Okay, when I have a rent income received in advance at the start of the year, it means that business actually received this amount last year. Okay, but it is only earned in the current year. That's why I plus. Okay, but if I have a rent income received in advance on the last day of the year, it means that I'm actually receiving in advance for next year. Okay, I'm only earning this in the next year. I'm receiving in advance for next year. I'm earning this for next year. That's why I subtract from my income. With this, let's do our rent income account. On the first day of August 2017, August 1st, rental income received in advance. Okay, so I'm earning this in the current year, so add 1,500. Okay, then after that, on the 1st of November, I received rental income by check. So rental income goes up by $3,500. On 2018, May 1st, okay, I also received rental income by check. So my income goes up by $3,500. Okay, on the last day of the year, July 31st, I have a rental income received in advance. Okay, this is received in advance for next year, so I subtract. Okay, eventually you should get $7,500. So here will be $7,500 debit. No, credit, sorry, credit. Okay, and remember that we should always transfer to profit and loss because this is an income account. Okay, and how do we transfer to zero? We debit $7,500. Okay, some common mistakes that I saw when I was marking your work. Okay, some people actually put balance brought down on August 1st. Okay, remember that for this, okay, this is not balance brought down. I think y'all were confused because y'all saw the word he provided the full information. Then I think y'all saw the word on 1st August. Okay, then I think some of you thought that this is actually a balance brought down. Okay, but this is only a balance brought down if I'm doing this account, rental income received in advance. For this question, we're supposed to do our rent income account. And you must also keep in mind that rent income, okay, is an income statement account. Okay, don't have any balance BD. Okay, understand? Okay, the next account that we are doing is our advertising expense account. Okay, so let's look at where is our advertising. Okay, so on June 1st, 2018, paid for advertising by check. When we are paying for expenses by check, remember that for our journal entry, we debit expense, right? Expenses goes up. Credit cash at bank or cash in hand. Okay, that's what happens when we pay for expenses. Expenses goes up, cash at bank or cash in hand goes down. Okay, it's a debit. I think many of you actually wrote down minus because you all thought that hey, I paid, so my expenses goes down. Okay, in actual fact, when you pay for expenses, expenses always goes up. It's a debit expense, which is why here I'll actually indicate a plus. Okay, my expenses actually goes up by $2,100. And on the last day of the year, there is a prepaid advertising. Okay, this means that I am actually paying in advance. Pay in advance for next year. Okay, this amount I'm actually paying in for this year. I paid this year. Okay, but it is not incurred this year. It is incurred for next year. Okay, but I made payment this year. But because it is incurred for next year, I actually have to minus, okay, from my expenses because it is not meant for this year. It is meant for next year. Okay, and with that, let's do our advertising account. Okay, 2018. Okay, I have June 1st. Okay, I paid by check, so cash at bank. Okay, remember in this case, expenses goes up. Okay, I debit expense. So expenses goes up, I debit. Okay, look at how I go. Debit expense, so plus expenses, $2,100. Okay, and on the last day of the year, July 31st, I have a prepaid advertising. It goes down by 1750 because it is incurred for next year, and my value would be 350 debit. Okay, so 350 debit. Eventually, remember that this is an income statement account, so I need to transfer to profit and loss to make it a zero. Okay, and with that, we're done with our advertising account. Okay, the next question is about the accrual theory. Accrual theory is not matching concept. There were some of you who wrote matching concept. Okay, remember that accrual theory, they're asking for accrual concept. Okay, so what happens here is that we have to explain income is recorded when it is earned. Okay, I only record when I earn the income. I don't care, okay, regardless, I don't care, regardless of when it was received. I don't care when it was received. Received this year, received next year, I don't care. I only care when is it earned. The same thing, expenses is recorded when it is incurred. I only care when I incur the expense. Okay, regardless of when it was paid. Okay, I don't care when it was paid. The word regardless, okay, means I don't care. Okay, I don't care when it was received. I don't care when it was paid. I only am concerned, okay, when it was earned and when it was incurred. Okay, with that, we end our question 1. Thank you for listening.